Today, I will be talking about how I was able to boost my metabolism at age 40. After going on caloric deficit, you want to eat normal or sustainable diet. As soon as you do, you start gaining weight. You're like, what happened? I've been there. Hi guys, welcome to Montour's channel. I had to lose weight after 4 pregnancies, regain strength, regain muscle. For a few years, I was also following a vegetarian diet in a wrong way, and I lost a lot of muscle during that time, and I had to learn how to regain it all back, regain the strength, regain the muscle back. And I will show you exactly how I did that. Muscle loss typically declines at age 30, and significant muscle decline occurs around age 60. That's not even giving account of pregnancies, diets, and wrong exercise that accelerate your muscle loss. Step number one is looking into weightlifting. I'm not talking about little dumbbells, 5 pounds, and you go 20 times. Little dumbbells do have their role, but if you're looking into speeding up your metabolism, gaining some strength, building some muscle, it's the heavier weights that you want. You want to lift something that you can do, for example, 10 to 12 reps, and it's pretty hard, but not to the point where it you feel you're going to have an injury or to a point where you can't lift that number 10 then it will be probably too heavy. When you start lifting weights, lifting heavy weights, you gotta go slow. You have to go maybe a little bit less than you're capable of, and then building from that. And then when you do lift your weights, you lift it slow, you lift it steady. Don't make fast motions. You want your muscle to work for it. And don't worry, you are not going to get bulky by lifting at the gym. In order to get bulky, you have to lift so much, so heavy, very, very consistent. And even if you even do those things, you lift super heavy, you lift consistent, you still will not get bulky. You have to have all that food, all that protein, surplus, and you're going to gain muscle with that. You're still not going to be bulky. It's more a genetic thing. Having nice lean muscle, some girls take it as it's not feminine. But the world is changing. Lean muscle on your arms, on your shoulders, they look beautiful. I used to be a victim when I will try to work out. I wanted to be stronger, I wanted to be leaner. And family, they would tell me I'm going to look bulky. I should put those down. I shouldn't be doing this. And then when I started to have definition in my body, I would I would be excited and I will kind of show, hey, look at this. Even abs they started to show, and I would show my family my definition of my abs, and their reaction was, "Oh, no, no, it's not feminine." And that brought me down, and that did make me quit for a while. But that was back then. That was when I was in early 20s. One time we were vacationing with my family, and afterwards we were looking through photos of the vacation. And my sister pointed out of one of my photos that I had. She's like, "Oh, look, your arm is up like this, and I can see your bicep. Ooh, we should delete that photo. Photo shouldn't be there." I'm like, "No, wait. You can see my bicep right there. That's what I was working for." But in their definition, that was not feminine. But now that I'm 40 and my siblings are around my age, now they're coming to me. What am I supposed to do? How can I be lean? How can I lose my weight? Because they're trying to eat right now, eating salads, eating chicken, and they're nothing but gaining weight and they don't understand why. Remember those things I was talking about years ago? Well, this is the result. I can eat, I can work out, I'm in a great shape, but now I'm happy to help and coach my family. If you are new, start with small weights. I would suggest, even if you're 40, 50, and you never worked out, I would do some workouts that require body weight only. Build that up, get some strength. You can gain muscle with using just your body weight as well. You can work out at home, you can go to the gym. It's basically what your jam is. Do you want to do it on your own time? Do you want to go to the gym where everyone else is working out and you have more equipment? You can get a trainer. I've done it both ways. I've done workouts at home. I go to the gym, especially during COVID. We all had to stay home. And my workouts, they were all at home and mostly body weight. And some workouts, I would be creative and how to add more weight to that, or buying some dumbbells to keep at home. But there's so many ways to get your workout in, whatever your schedule is, how busy you are. Sometimes I would use one of my kids for an extra added weight, and that worked out pretty well. It was a nice workout for me and fun activity for my kids. Don't look on how heavy you can lift the weights. Look at the form first. If you're doing arms, if you're doing your back, what is your form? And then have some dumbbells heavy enough that you can lift them, that they're challenging, but you can, number one, focus on your form while performing those exercises. And practice doesn't make it perfect. Perfect practice makes it perfect. You have to look at the form before you can add more weight. When you add more weight and you perform that exercise, if your form goes a little shaky, you either reduce the reps you do or reduce the weight. But keeping your form during your workouts, it's very, very important. It will really help not to get injured. And I'm guilty of it. I've been injured so many times over, and I've learned my lesson, and I will not push myself to the limit where I will get injury. The next thing you need to look at is your protein. You have to consume enough protein in order to build the muscle after your heavy workout. I would recommend to calculate how much protein you need to eat throughout the day and maybe take a week or two and follow that and count all the protein you consume, and actually by the end of the day hit that number as many times as possible as you can, so you actually learn and how much protein is any given food, how much protein is in an egg, 4 ounces of chicken breast, salmon, etc. And it also depends on how aggressive you want to go as far as gaining muscle and how heavy you're lifting. If you are at a point where you can lift heavier and heavier and you really want to have those gains, yes, protein, make sure it's on point. And calories, make sure you have enough calories to have that little bit of a surplus where you're having those gains. And there are two ways to go about it. You can count your daily calories for a little while until you kind of have an idea how much you're supposed to eat. Or I'll have my plate, I'll have my protein source, I'll have my plant-based food, and then I would add half a cup of carbs, or maybe even a little bit more if I had really heavy lifting. It depends how much lifting I was doing that day. For example, my leg day will be much heavier lifting. My legs are strong and they can take a lot more weights. And I will do more sets, more reps on those days. And I will add a little bit more carbs on those days. You can also do intuitive eating if you're not into counting macros and calories and weighing all the food every day. I used to do that, but I've done it so much that I have a good idea of what I need, and intuitive eating is one of my big things. It is easier in my lifestyle during the day, having busy life, and I like to enjoy of being hungry before the meal or feeling the satisfaction after the meal. I will try to be close to the maintenance calories daily and not thinking about a little bit surplus for the muscle growth, because during the day, on the weekends, those calories, those surplus will actually just slip through. It will be a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and that all counts. And that will be like my mini bowl. Ago, I gained weight. I didn't look puffy. My stomach was still flat. I did make sure I didn't eat food that will irritate or make me bloated. I looked lean and fit. But I did gain inches on my midsection. It was more because I was retaining also a lot of water from more carbs that I was consuming because I wanted to gain weight. I was more prioritizing my muscle growth than being lean. I just wanted to regain more of that muscle that I lost prior. But after I did my mini bulk for like 6 months, the next thing I did is I cut out the carbs. I wanted to lean out at that point where I thought it was enough of the doing my mini bulk. And I cut out the bread, the rice, the white potatoes, the pasta, and I wasn't having that much, but that was just enough for me to lose that fat and to lose the water weight I was retaining during that time. And that left me really nice, flat stomach, very lean. The clothes were fitting much better. My muscles were strong, and I kept most of my muscle during that phase. And after that, I reintroduce probably a toast or two in the morning and some little cheat meals during the weekends. And that was enough. I also did easy up on the workout. I didn't lower my weights, but I lowered my sets. I still worked out my muscles really hard. It wasn't as crazy intense where I wanted to build the muscle. I didn't had to spend 45 minutes, 1 hour on a leg day. Right now, at this point, a half hour is just enough for me. The next thing I did was focus on sleep and recovery. I didn't realize how extremely important that is to recover after all that workout, all those heavy weights you've been lifting. You were working out your muscle. Your muscle needs recovery. It needs to rebuild. You have to rest. You have to take care of your muscles so there's results, so there's growth, so you're not doing all this work and it's for minimum amount of result. You put those hours at the gym, you counting calories, you doing all that hard work, but without sleep, without rest, it's hard to build the muscle, it's hard to go back to the gym. Sleeping is the opportunity where your body starts to rebuild. It replenishes energy stores. In order to go back to the gym and start lifting weights again, you have to replenish the energy. Otherwise, you will be very tired the next day and you don't want to go back to the gym. You will not be motivated. Not enough sleep will break down your muscle mass. I understand moms can't always do that. It's not possible to have a nice, good rest sleep every single day, but we do our best. Don't stay up late watching TV or sitting on the couch or lying on your bed scrolling through your phone, looking at Instagram very late at night. That is not going to help you to fall asleep and have a good night rest. It's actually going to keep you awake longer and you want to scroll longer. I know, I understand we all want to do that mostly on the weekends. I've had my days where I didn't get enough sleep and I'm trying to work out and my body would go into shutdown mode. It will literally shut down. I wasn't able to do anything. I would sit on the computer, my mind is going blank. I can't do anything. I'm falling asleep. My body was just shutting down, and I would lie down on the bed and I would feel glued to the bed. My body's glued. I would literally would be so tired. And at that point, of course, I cannot go to the gym. I will not do my activities. I am too tired to do anything because I didn't get my sleep. I'm not talking about one night sleep. I'm talking about that was like night after night after night. Uh, Kid is sick, late night work, maybe watch TV for too long, and but every day I was working out and probably not eating enough because my days were jam packed. And one day it just hit. I couldn't do anything. Of course, after doing step one, step two, step three, don't forget to hydrate with water. That is very important. If you like this video, click on the screen to check out where I share how much protein do you need to get optimal results.